All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, welcome. So be grateful for what you have, right? That's the message of today's video. A lot of the time when, especially things are going bad in our lives, we tend to overly focus on the things that we don't have, right? On the things that are going wrong. And we forget to be grateful for the things that we do have and focus on the positives in our life, right? I know that may sound super cliche, but it's the truth for a reason. If your focus is entirely on everything that's going wrong in your life, if you adopt a victim mentality in your life, if you're one of these people who just say, oh, I just can't catch a break, right? The I can't catch a break guys, the people that are just chronic victims, right? The ones that wallow in self-pity and don't do anything about the things they could change, right? Those are the people that unfortunately don't tend to get any forward momentum in their life, right? So don't be one of those people. Of course, we all fall into that from time to time, but the point I'm trying to make is to not be perpetually stuck in that cycle, right? There's a saying that goes, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. The hungry don't get fed, right? So it really all begins a lot with the mindset that you have and the action that you're putting forth toward figuring out the things that bother you in your life, right? If there are issues that are definitely within your grasp to change, right? If there are things that you don't like about your life that are possible to change, then what are you doing complaining, right? Get into action, make a plan, and start working on solving those issues, right? Of course, there are things in our lives that just absolutely cannot be changed, right? And they're there for a reason. Then what's the point of wasting time and energy worrying about or, feeling bad about those things? A lot of people, for example, tend to overly focus on things like superficial factors, right? Especially because of social media just influencing so many people's minds. Get off the phone, right? I would encourage you to do that. You'll see the natural sanity that comes back to you. Once you put down the phone, you stop browsing the internet, and you just get outside more, right? A lot of these issues, these mental issues, they just dissipate. Reality hits you in the face and you're like, what the heck was I thinking? Being in this constant loop of negativity, right? Get outside more, talk to people. And of course, like I said earlier, focus on the things that are going right in your life. If you have your health, if you're healthy, if you have your eyesight, if you have your five senses intact, then consider yourself extremely lucky. There are a lot of people out there who don't even have those things going for them, right? Yet, despite all that, they're still able to put a smile on their face and figure it out. That's not to say that the problems that you're facing, the issues in your life, that's not to minimize them or to say that they're not important. I'm just encouraging you to develop a different perspective about things and to develop a proactive attitude in your life, right? And fixing the problems that you have and the issues that you have in your life. So just literally make a list of the things that you don't like about your life, right? If they're able to solve them, if they have a solution, right, then come up with solutions and take action. And like I said, if there are things in your life that are absolutely unchangeable and they're just negatives, try to find some sort of good in them, right? But because what's the alternative option? You just say, oh, my life sucks, these things suck, and you just feel sorry for yourself. Of course, there are a lot of messed up things that happen in our lives, but as corny and cliche as it may sound, a lot of it really is in our minds, right? On how we handle these obstacles. There's this video of this guy, I forget his name, but he's a writer, right? And he's completely disabled. He's an extremely intelligent guy, right? That just goes to show you when life deals you a set of cards and your hand isn't looking so good, there's always something that is positive in your life, right? This guy is disabled and he's an extremely intelligent person, right? I believe he can't even use most of his fingers, right? I think he only has the ability to use one of his hands. I'm not entirely sure, but the point is that this guy, ever since he was little, he was bullied for how he looked and because of his disability, unfortunately. But this guy didn't let that stop him, right? He told himself that he was going to figure it out and that one day he was going to become self-sufficient and, very wealthy. Not in a bad sense. He just wanted to help his family out, I believe. and he developed an online business, right? He became an online writer, and a lot of articles, a lot of famous magazines look to this guy for, just for his writing ability. I forget what his name is, but I believe if you type it in a TED Talk or just on YouTube, right, you'll be able to find it. So this guy figured it out, right? He used the cards that he had and used them to his advantage, right? He had an extremely high intellect. He was very smart, and he figured out a way to make a living for himself, right? Totally in a wheelchair, only able to use one of his arms, right? But, the thing that really stuck out to me during this interview with this person is that, his mentality. He was like, I wasn't going to let this ability define my life, right? I was going to make something for myself, even if it was something, just a little piece of the pie, so to speak. So again, a lot of it just starts with your mentality. A lot of it just starts with the way you look at problems in general, right? Do you look at them as inconveniences, or do you look at them as things that you can use and grow from, right? So focus on the positives in your life. I know it's tough, and it's a lot easier to just focus on the negative things, the things that are going wrong in people's lives, right? The things that are going wrong in your life. But I encourage you to do this, right? The more you get into the habit of just focusing on the pros, the overall peace that you'll feel in your life and the gratitude that you'll feel from day to day is just immense. And it really is a game changer. You start developing a different attitude towards things, right? You start looking at life differently. And overall, in my opinion, is just a more healthy way to live, right? A more proactive, a more positive way to live. Right? So if you made it this far in the video, hopefully something that I mentioned in the video is of use to you. Remember, what you focus on is extremely important. So focus on the good in your life. Focus on the present moment and take each day as it comes. Be grateful for each day, because tomorrow is not promised. Thank you so much for listening to this video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I make videos on self-improvement. I give life advice based on personal experiences that hopefully help somebody out there. And I occasionally ramble about random topics like anime, manga, TV show, a movie, anything that fascinates me. So if you would like to hear, content about those topics, then welcome to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you to all the new subscribers, and I'll see you in the next video.